Have you noticed that the women who have truly made it are exactly the ones you almost never see? They have disappeared from social media, from gossip circles, from the noise of the world, and, ironically, it is in this silence that the new luxury hides. While everyone is posting pictures of breakfast, of the gym, of the new purse, of the brand new car, there are people who have simply vanished from the digital map. And do you know what that means? It means they have discovered the secret code of true luxury today. If you want to truly learn how to be elegant, leave an unforgettable impression, and stand out from other women, click the subscribe button right here on the channel, activate the notification bell so you do not miss any videos, and leave a like. I am Carol, I am 40 years old, and here on Lucrative Elegance, my mission is to teach you how to turn elegance into power and real opportunities in your life. Come with me. There is a phenomenon happening right now that most people have not even noticed yet. Being chronically offline has become the new status symbol of the ultra-wealthy. While the average woman spends hours glued to her phone, reacting to notifications, replying to messages, checking stories, truly wealthy women have simply disappeared. They are not on Instagram showing off the Chanel bag they just bought. They are not on TikTok doing dance trends. They are invisible, therefore. They are powerful. Here is a fact that will shock you. Research from 2025 shows that more than half of Generation Z now expresses a desire for social media-free environments, with 86% actively reducing screen time. But the most surprising movement is happening among billionaires. Companies that specialize in erasing digital footprints have exploded in recent years. And do you know why? Because people who truly have money have realized that the new luxury is not what you show, it is what you hide. Let me share something very personal. I live this conflict myself. I keep wondering if I should show up more on social media, appear more on the channel, create a stronger digital presence. But every time I think about it, I give up. I do not like to expose myself. I hate the idea of having my life on constant display. And you know what? That is not weakness. That is intelligence. Because while some people are building an entire life for Instagram, the women who truly understand elegance are building a real life, far from the spotlight. While the average woman rushes to post stories from the trendy restaurant, the elite woman dines in silence at a club where cell phones are forbidden. One posts the wine, the other savors the silence. One proves she is living, the other simply lives. Let me give you a very concrete example. Do you remember Lauren Sanchez? Jeff Bezos' wife made headlines at the presidential inauguration in 2025 when she appeared in a bold white neckline. Everyone talked about it. But do you see the irony? For her to make an impact, she had to appear at one specific public event. Her rule is not to be visible all the time. It is to choose when to be seen. That is power. The average woman wakes up checking notifications. The real woman wakes up and chooses when she will connect. One reacts, the other leads. One lives in airplane mode created by others. The other puts the world in her own airplane mode. Now let me ask you something. How many hours did you spend on your phone today without even realizing it? How many times did you grab the phone just to check if there were any new notifications? This is not just an innocent habit. This is what separates you from someone who truly has control over her own life. The luxury real estate market figured this out long ago. Silent homes, properties in remote locations, residences with technology that disappears into the architecture, all of this has become a criterion for value. Luxury hotels are redesigning experiences to be as discreet and invisible as possible, with rooms that anticipate your needs without asking, and private villas hidden from the crowds. Literal silence has become a commodity. Hold on a second. Do you really think that those who have everything to prove post every day? No. Those who have already won disappear. Those who have already understood remain silent. Those who need to be seen scream. And those who scream are never truly heard. There is a study I found fascinating. More than 2/3 of luxury consumers in 2025 now choose to invest in durable, high-quality pieces instead of purchases driven by trends. Do you know what that means? It means the intelligent woman has stopped chasing what everyone else wants. She invests in what lasts, in what does not need to shout to be noticed, in what is invisible to the untrained eye but obvious to those who understand. This reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend of mine who works at a tech company. She told me that the highest paid executives at the company are exactly the ones you never see in unnecessary meetings, who do not reply to emails immediately, who are simply not available all the time. Why? Because their time is so valuable that they only show up when it truly matters. That is invisible luxury. CEOs, creatives, and elite professionals have embraced digital detoxes, grayscale interfaces, and the elimination of notifications, where the ability to focus, think clearly, and be unavailable has become the new power move. Do you notice the pattern? The wealthier the person is, the less available she becomes. And look how interesting. While this is happening at the top of the pyramid, at the bottom, there are people killing themselves to look rich on social media, buying fake designer bags, renting luxury cars for photos, doing everything to build an image of wealth. Therefore, the aesthetics of luxury have become popular, but true luxury has migrated to a completely different place. There is a concept I love that sums this up perfectly: quiet luxury. Silent luxury prioritizes premium fabrics, timeless silhouettes, and craftsmanship, creating a wardrobe that looks luxurious and discreet at the same time. It is not about logos. It is about quality that only those who understand can recognize. It is about having pieces so well made that they do not need any kind of display. And do you know what else? Strategic invisibility goes beyond clothes. It enters rooms without strong perfume. It wears neutral tones. It speaks softly, but when it speaks, everyone listens. Because presence is not made with noise, it is made with mastery of space. The elegant woman does not compete for attention, she simply occupies the room with silent authority. But here's the trick no one tells you. You do not need to be a billionaire to start living this invisible luxury. Let me give you a few practical examples I use in my own daily life. First, studies show that avoiding your phone during the first hour of the day reduces cortisol levels and decreases anxiety. I put my phone in airplane mode before going to sleep and only turn it back on when I am truly ready for the day. It is not the phone that sets my pace. It is me. Second, I still write important things down on paper. With a pen. Sounds old-fashioned, right? But ever since I started practicing therapeutic writing, I have noticed how the physical act of writing focuses all my energy in a way that typing on the phone never could. Third, I turn off my phone when I am talking with important people. Fifth, I walk without headphones. I know it sounds crazy nowadays, but try it and pay attention to your surroundings. Now let us address the elephant in the room. How do you make a good impression while being invisible? Because at the end of the day, we want to be noticed. We want to be admired. We want people to recognize our value, right? But here is the secret that changes everything. When you are always available, always present, always posting, always commenting, you become ordinary. You become part of the noise. But when you choose your moments to appear, when you cultivate an air of mystery, when people have to make an effort to access you, that is when you become truly special. In a hyper-connected world, true luxury is not what you buy, it is what you choose not to do. You choose not to reply to messages immediately. You choose not to post every day. You choose not to be available to everyone at any time. And look, I know this goes against everything the internet has taught you. Everyone says you need to be present, that you must post frequently, that you must engage with your audience. But that is the rule for people who want to sell something, who want to build an audience. It is not the rule for those who want to have elegance and real power. There is a huge difference between digital influence and real influence. You measure digital influence through likes and comments. You measure real influence through the doors that open, the opportunities that appear, and how people treat you when you walk into a room. In fact, let me ask you something. Would you be able to go an entire day without touching your phone? Think about that. If the answer is no, you need to understand that you do not control technology. Technology controls you. And that is the opposite of luxury. Now, I want to share something important with you. If you are still watching this video, you have probably already understood that there is an invisible code that separates ordinary women from women who leave a lasting impression. A code that has nothing to do with money and everything to do with knowledge. What you have seen so far is just the surface. In the course Look Rich Without Spending Much, I give you the keys to what no one teaches. The unspoken codes that make an ordinary woman be treated as extraordinary. How to dress in a way that communicates sophistication without needing logos. How to behave in different social settings. How to speak. How to carry yourself. How to create that aura of refinement that makes people treat you completely differently. And that changes everything. Because here is the truth. The way you are perceived determines the opportunities that appear in your life. It determines how people treat you. It determines which doors open for you. And that is not superficial. That is strategic. The course is currently offered at a promotional price, but this will not last. If you want to be treated as a woman of value, you first need to understand how women of value present themselves to the world. The link is in the description. Take advantage while there is still time. Going back to our main topic, invisible luxury is not just about social media. It is about your entire relationship with visibility and availability. Silent retreats in the Himalayas, digital detox programs, and clubs where talking about business is forbidden have exploded in the luxury market. These experiences sell something intangible: calm, absence, and well-being. The richest people in the world are literally paying to do nothing, to disconnect, to be unavailable. Meanwhile, the average woman is paying to look like she is doing everything. Gym at 5 in the morning, photo of the afternoon coffee, picture of the gourmet dinner, weekend stories filled with activity. Performative exhaustion has become a social currency. And do you know what is funny? No one is truly impressed. There is something I have realized over the years. The most interesting people I know are the ones who talk the least about their lives on social media. They have fascinating stories, incredible trips, unique experiences, but they do not need to prove anything to anyone. They live for themselves, not for an audience. Silence, time, and undivided attention have become the most valuable commodities in 2025. Think about that. If you are able to give someone your full attention without checking your phone, you are offering something that most people can no longer give. That makes you valuable. And there is more. This strategic invisibility protects you. It protects you from unnecessary judgment, from toxic comparisons, from envy, from negative energy. The less people know about your life, the less power they have over you. I see this all the time. Women who share every detail of their lives on social media become easy targets for criticism, for mean comments, for people looking for flaws in everything they do. But when you are discreet, when you carefully choose what to reveal, you keep your power. There is a quote I love that perfectly sums up this philosophy. True luxury is having free time and peace of mind. It is not having the most expensive bag. It is not having the newest car. It is not having the most Instagrammable house. It is being able to sleep deeply. It is being able to think clearly. It is being able to choose how to spend your time. Having the luxury of choosing how to spend your free time is a hallmark of the upper class, in absolute contrast with middle-class workers who juggle multiple jobs. Do you see how this completely changes the perspective on what wealth truly is? Now, let me give you one piece of information that might change the way you see yourself. You only need to understand that true wealth is not about how much you spend, but about how much control you have over your life. You do not need to have millions in the bank to start living like a rich woman. Control over your time, control over your attention, control over your energy, control over your image. These are things no one can buy from you unless you choose to sell them. There is an interesting movement happening in luxury fashion right now. After years of quiet luxury dominating the scene, some billionaires and members of the upper class are returning to more bold and individual expressions. But notice this. Even when they choose to be more vibrant, it is a deliberate choice. It is not a desperate attempt to be noticed. It is confidence to be seen on their own terms. That is completely different from the woman who posts 20 stories a day because she is afraid of being forgotten. Completely different from the woman who wears designer logos on everything because it is the only way she feels she has value. Completely different from the woman who keeps checking how many likes she got because that is how she measures her own worth. And do you know what the saddest part is? This constant need for validation not only drains you emotionally, it also makes you predictable. People know exactly where to find you, what you will post, how you will react. You lose the mystery. You lose the power. Now contrast that with the woman who shows up when she wants to, who posts when she truly has something meaningful to say, who does not need the approval of strangers on the internet to feel good about herself. Which of these two women do you think leaves a more lasting impression? There is an interesting study that shows how this works in practice. Search interest in quiet luxury increased by 157% between 2023 and 2025 with sales of premium, logo-free products rising by 42%. The market is responding to this shift in mindset. People are tired of obvious ostentation. They want true sophistication. And true sophistication is subtle. It is the woman who walks into a room and you cannot quite explain why she draws attention, but she does. It is not the flashy outfit. It is not the heavy makeup. It is not the display of jewelry. It is something deeper. It is posture. It is confidence. It is the way she moves through a space as if she belongs there. This reminds me of something I always say. Elegance does not shout. Elegance whispers. And only those who are truly paying attention are able to hear it. There is another aspect of invisible luxury that I find fascinating, the relationship with consumption. A truly elegant woman does not need to have every new release. She owns carefully selected pieces that she wears for years. She knows the story behind each item in her wardrobe. She invests in quality, not in quantity. Meanwhile, there are women with closets full of clothes and nothing to wear. Why? Because they shop impulsively, chasing trends, trying to copy what they saw on Instagram. The result? A pile of clothes they do not love and that do not represent who they really are. The new luxury is about elimination, not accumulation. Status now means living unbothered with fewer apps, limited screen time, and hours spent offline, all signaling control and self-mastery. Less is more is not just a cliche, it is literally the philosophy of the wealthiest people in the world. And do you know why that works? Because when you have less, you value more. When you are not constantly bombarded by new things, you appreciate what you already have. When you are not spending your entire day watching the perfect lives of others on social media, you are free to build a real life that truly satisfies you. That leads me to a crucial point. Contentment is the greatest luxury there is, and contentment cannot be bought anywhere. It must be cultivated. There is a huge difference between looking rich and being rich. Looking rich is easy. You rent a bag, take a photo in an expensive restaurant, post it on Instagram. Done. But what happens afterward? You return to a reality where you have no control over anything, where you are in debt trying to maintain appearances, where you are exhausted from trying to impress people who do not even truly know you. Being truly rich, on the other hand, means having peace. It means sleeping well, knowing you owe nothing to anyone. It means waking up and choosing how to spend your day without needing permission or approval. It means having genuine relationships with people who truly know you, not the edited version you show online. I see so many women destroying their mental health trying to maintain an image that is not even real. Taking 100 photos just to get the perfect one, editing every detail, creating a fictional life for Instagram while their real life passes unnoticed. And for what? To impress whom? Even short digital breaks of 24 to 48 hours significantly improve sleep quality, attention span, emotional well-being, and creativity. This is not a theory. This is proven science. Your brain needs rest from constant stimulation. But no one talks about this because it is not glamorous. Saying you spent the whole weekend off your phone does not get likes. Saying you stayed home reading a book instead of going to the party everyone was attending does not go viral. But these seemingly small choices are exactly what build a life of true luxury. These are the choices that give you mental clarity, that give you the energy to focus on what really matters, that give you time to develop real skills instead of endlessly consuming content. By the way, let me ask you another question. What will you remember 10 years from now? The stories you posted or the experiences you lived fully? The photos you took or the moments you truly enjoyed? Because here is an inconvenient truth. You cannot be present and perform at the same time. Can you do both? Of course. But most people are so busy documenting their lives that they forget to live them. And here is something else. When you live for an audience, you lose authenticity. You start making choices based on what will get more likes, not on what you truly want. You begin living the life you think people want to see, not the life you want to live. That is not freedom. That is a prison, and true luxury is absolute freedom. There is one more point I want to address: the connection between invisibility and female power. For a long time, women were taught that in order to have value, they had to be seen, to be desired, to be validated by the male gaze. But that is a childish way to view our power. True feminine power does not depend on external validation. It does not depend on how many men think you are beautiful. It does not depend on how many likes you receive. True feminine power comes from within. It comes from knowing who you are and not needing to prove anything to anyone. When you understand that, you stop seeking attention and start cultivating respect. And respect is infinitely more valuable than attention. Attention is fleeting. Respect is lasting. The woman who understands this does not need to always be visible, because she knows that her value is not in how many people see her, but in the quality of the impact she has on the right people. And that, my dear friend, is the essence of invisible luxury. It is becoming so confident, so centered, so self-assured, that you simply do not need constant validation from the digital world. You exist fully in the real world, and that makes you unforgettable. Precisely because you are not trying to be unforgettable. So, here is what I want you to take from this video. Stop trying to look rich and start living rich. Wealth is not about showing off. It is about freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of attention, freedom from comparison, freedom from external validation. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You only need to live well. And living well means being present, being in control, being at peace. I want to invite you to something. If this content brings real value to your life, if you feel that you are learning things no one else is teaching you, consider becoming a sponsor of this channel through the membership club. Plans start at $4.99 per month. It is a way for you to support this work and gain access to exclusive content. Just click the join button down below. This channel exists because there are women like you who understand that true elegance has nothing to do with vulgarity, with cheap display, with attention-seeking behavior for the wrong reasons. Elegance is about refinement. It is about having standards. It is about carrying yourself with dignity. And invisible luxury is the highest expression of that. It is being so refined that you do not need to shout, so valuable that you do not need to prove it, so confident that you do not need to compare yourself. The question you need to ask yourself is not how many people saw me today, but who felt my absence. Because an elegant woman is not the one who is everywhere. She is the one whose absence is noticed when she is not there. Leave a comment and tell me if you would be able to stay offline for a full day. I want to know if you are up for that challenge. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, take this opportunity to subscribe now. Every week, there is new content about elegance, etiquette, personal development, and all those secret codes that separate ordinary women from extraordinary ones. See you in the next video.